Lamar now to kick this one away.
All right, now, wide 80.
Check, check, walk 54, walk 54.
I got it.
No, no, no.
Quarter, quarter. Here we go, here we go.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
Juju, there's definitely a positive spirit about that man. You know, he was, I know you know this story, but he was asked in training camp by a fan to sign his head next to a tattooed Steelers logo.
And not a piece of paper on his head.
No.
Sign his head.
Sign his head. And then later Juju told reporters he'd give game tickets to that fan if he got it tattooed. Well, he did. And Juju came through with not only game tickets, but season tickets for the fan.
Well, there is a positive spirit about him, as you said. He does give good juju out there, and the fans feel it. In fact, at another practice session, he took part in a gender reveal because the fans asked him, hey, can you come over and help us out with this? He said, sure. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's a boy.
First carry for James Conner. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he's got room. And finally taken down at the 20-yard line. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. Give him 42 yards on the ground.
First down, Pittsburgh.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10.
Back, back, back. Hey, check 24.
Take 2 of them.
Right back to Conner here on first. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They've moved the ball over 50 yards between this play and the last one. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time.
Kill, kill, kill. Slap, slap.
Take 2 of them.
They'll run here with Conner. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. An 8-yard touchdown run. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10
at their own 24.
He's checking.
Here's Prescott. And he hits Jason Witten, the tight end. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Looking for his tight end, Witten, and it's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Yeah, he's just trying to throw this ball into the hole in the zone, but those windows can open and close quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So if the timing's not right, we'll see interceptions like that one right there.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got him the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know, they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Here's Roethlisberger going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Watch QB jump. Watch QB jump. Watch twist. Jumper.
Take both of them.
On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Like 80!
Like 54. All day, every day, any day.
Hey, alert!
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Well, the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Now Austin. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Over the middle, Amari Cooper, it's complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
To throw again on second down. Prescott on the left side. Gallup's got it. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Under. Kill.
To the air again, Prescott. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's fourth down. So the Cowboys will punt it on fourth down. As on as the veteran Chris Jones to kick it away. Back deep for the Steelers, Ryan Switzer. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10.
He's checked it.
Easy.
It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up. Check 37.
50.
54.
They'll run here with Connor. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check. Crunch. Check 52. Shit.
Take both of them.
Now Ben going to give this one to Connor. He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite powering through the tackle. Xavier Woods, the free safety, up to make the tackle.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
30.
Tighten up. Pull it together. Right there. 54. Right there. 54 Mike.
Hey.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, switch gears. Switch gears.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
Set. Black 30.
Mike 5-4. All day. Punt.
Double, double.
Slam. 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 Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Switch, switch, switch. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
On 1st and 10 is counted. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
At the 49-yard line.
All right, now. Black 5.
Mike 54. Watch the out, watch the out.
Still spacing.
Banjo. He's coming, he's coming.
What's up? 59, what's up? 59, what's up?
On 2nd and 11 now. Roethlisberger. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Shoot, watch the shoot. Wide, get wide.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go. Check, 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 check. 49. Check 49. Check 49. Hatchet. Hatchet. Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill.
Solid, 5 down.
And now again, the play clock's going to run out on him. That's going to set him back 5 yards. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Rap. 36. 36. Kill, 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 kill. Jim, good.
Middle.
Go. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down.
But it brings up 4th down.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason.
Let's go.
Their own 18-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
Prescott looks to throw on first. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Double. Check 31. Check 31.
Prescott to throw it. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards the pickup there.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. There he goes, right side. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy. And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Check 55 to Mike.
Hey, watch the lane. Shoot!
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Going right side, he has Witten. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 11 yards there, first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Prescott now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report.
Mike 54, Mike 55. Mike 55. Man out. Mike 55, Mike 55.
They just get the play off. Now Prescott. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 41-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Watch it, here we go, 46. Get that quarterback, D-line.
A first down carry by Elliott.
Watch quick.
There to stop him, Terrell Edmonds.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
I got you. Here we go, kill.
55's Mike, guys. 55.
Now Prescott. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. Intended that time for Cooper.
Well, Charles, if you think so far the early part of the preseason, who has stood out? If you take a peek back at the draft, the first round, it was pretty defensively minded, but there were 3 quarterbacks taken. Kyler Murray first, Daniel Jones 6th, Dwayne Haskins 15th. Of those guys, they've looked pretty good.
I agree with you, Brandon. When you talk about those 3 quarterbacks, and you're right, the rest of the draft, we're talking about big linemen, right? We're talking about defensive players, not a lot of skill players in the first round. But let's take the quarterbacks very quickly. Kyler Murray, by acclamation, went to Arizona. Everyone excited about it. And I think his team remains excited about his prospects. They're eager to see him play. He became the starter as soon as he was drafted. Daniel Jones, that was a different situation in New York. The fans weren't real excited about him coming in. But the reason they drafted him has a similar demeanor and talent to Eli Manning, and he's acquitting himself quite nicely in the early going. And Dwayne Haskins a little more up and down in Washington, but they love the big arm of this guy, and he's back at home. Remember, he grew up in Potomac, Maryland.
The Steelers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14.
Begin. Check 13. Focus. What's the edge? Check 4. Check. 6 guys. These 2.
One more time, they'll keep it on the ground. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 33. A good return there, 17 yards. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up first and 10. Prescott now from the 50. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. Cooper was the intended target.
At their own 32-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
The Cowboys take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now, so as you mentioned,
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The sack by T.J. Watt, or as his mother Connie calls him, Trent Jordan Watt. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Go 47.
So that'll back him up 5.
Here we go. 20.
Mike, 5. Nice, sweetheart.
26.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And this one complete to Witten over the middle. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
That's good for a Cowboys.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
At the 36-yard line.
Prescott from the gun. He's going to air one out. And now here's another interception. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Cooper was the target there. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Well, they may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Watch a slant. Watch a slant. Watch a slant. These two. 44.
Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
Double bump.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Slack it down.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Yeah, the Cowboys here on 3rd down bringing in an extra defensive back.
Come on, dude. Under quarter. Under crunch.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. 25, check 25.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender is making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line.
At their own 13-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive.
47.
Now Prescott. Flushed and a big loss here as he's taken down. T.J. Watt able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Prescott. And he's got Ezekiel Elliott. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard, and you probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about a little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
Well, the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. T.J. Watt able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
All right, now. Black 30.
54 Mike. Watch the run. They're running it.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain of 32 that time.
Pittsburgh.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Connor on the toss play. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Hey. Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Motion, motion.
Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Stay with your man.
Alert flare. Alert flare. Flare. Flare.
Shift, shift.
Pick the edge. Pick the edge. Come, come.
Check nickel, nickel.
Roethlisberger will hand to Connor. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's third and goal.
Strong right. 4 down. 4 down.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And he's got it. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Boswell for the extra point.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
Back now in Arlington. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. He's going to air one out, and that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. Here's the correct call.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Hey, kill! 47.
Check three.
Then we're going to 52.
55 is my guy, 55.
26.
On 2nd and 9, Prescott forced out to his left. And he slides to avoid the hit. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Watch the pass. Kill.
Then we're going to 53.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
Brings up 4th down and 1.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Let's go, let's bring it.
Here we go, going to 54, going to 54. Line.
Press down.
26.
They'll run it with Elliott. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. Ezekiel Elliott not able to get it past the marker. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Show it up.
Take 2 of them.
Mike 55, Mike 55, Mike 55.
Yeah, let's get a sack lunch.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
Black and burn.
Here's Roethlisberger. Pass incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game.
Ready?
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
You better bring it. I'm letting you know right now, you better bring it. Out. Alert.
Watch out. Check.
Take 2 of them.
Mike 54.
Now Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Roethlisberger now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Connor. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Defensively, it was Leighton Vander Esch up from his linebacker spot.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
There. 180.
Right there. 54 Mike. Bring it. Under 10. Under 10. 10.
Beat these two.
Whip. Watch the whip. Check it.
They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
Now, that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge fourth-quarter stop? Now Ben on third and long. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? Third and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Here's Austin. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A great return there of 22 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
QB's trash. Let's go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. Only 3 there on the screen. It's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Say.
Hey, kill. 26.
Here's Prescott. On the left side, Gallup's got it. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Shift. You go perfect. You go tight. You got tight.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Elliott. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Check 3.
We're going to 54. Why ain't?
Shoot. It's great. 10. Check 24. Check 24.
26.
Again, it's Elliott. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Switching, hey.
Mike, 55. Right there in the middle.
26.
On 1st down, Elliott. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
He don't want it.
47.
No. Watch the safety creep. Check hot route. Hot.
26.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. Setting bar now for the Cowboy field goal. And this one is right through. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Now the final act of this victory, the extra point. It's up and good, and they add one more to what will wind up a fairly lopsided victory. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Big D.